lions in a tree and there's a buffalo underneath the tree. And the lion is sitting in the tree, and the buffalo is seemingly oblivious to the lions at this stage. I struggle to see how that's possible. I feel like this is going to reveal a huge pride sitting on the no, it's not. So one buffalo on the ground, a whole herd of buffalo standing about in the winter vegetation in the lowveld of South Africa, and one lion in the tree. This is an absolutely bizarre setting, because it looks to me like the buffalo either don't know the lions are there, or they're enjoying a bit of a bushwalk, because buffalo don't tolerate lions like this. It's not like they will happily coexist, largely because lions have a propensity to kill and eat buffalo, which is what's happening here. So I think those were youngsters, and the rest of the pride seems to have arrived now and said to the youngsters, "Why haven't you killed anything for dinner?" And the youngsters have said, "Well, why don't you do it rather?" And the adults have said, "Okay, well, we'll try." And off go the buffalo at 100 miles an hour. And the lions sort of very half-heartedly giving chase. Yeah, this is very half-hearted. I think maybe they're hoping there'll be a youngster that just drops off the back. And now the lions have got themselves into trouble. They're in the middle of the group. Dust everywhere. One lion taking a whiz to the left. Young male. I think that was a very poor effort from the lions, and possibly they were already satiated from another poor buffalo that they had already eaten.
Oh, we have got a hippopotamus that's just been chased by a huge male elephant. And definitely you can see that elephant is much larger compared to the hippo itself. So not a good idea for that hippo to try and take on such a big elephant, because he will definitely come off as second best. But it's amazing seeing this, because always interaction between animals. It's always a lot of fun. But yeah, it looks like the elephant has decided to kind of call it quits and not chase that hippo anymore. And the poor old hippo has just decided. It looks like a big male hippo as well, not a small one. And now I think he's rather heading away from that side as well. Another elephant. And of course a buffalo in the background, or on to the left. It wasn't really in the background, but on to the left hand side. And you can see this elephant just wants to continue with his mud bath. And you can see he's got a little bit of mud and a bit of water in the background. But yes, always nice having fantastic interaction between certain species.
It's like a martial eagle in a tree. Quite incredible to see these birds on the move, let alone hunting. A typical raptor foot to hold the prey while they rip it apart. Can't tell what it is though, but some pretty long bones, possibly a hair. I actually have no idea. Oh, it's a whole bone. Goodness me, just swallowed an entire bone there. How incredible is that? Now how that goes into the crop and then gets broken down by the gizzard is beyond me. I have no idea. There's another bone. Normally you'd think they peck around it and pull all the flesh off. You can see that crop is full. Now I don't understand how that bird is going to digest those bones. Well, good luck trying.
Now a herd of elephants at the waterhole. Lovely always to watch elephants at the waterhole in the dry season. They love the mud, they love the water, they love to cavort around and behave in a manner that is generally very entertaining to observe. It's a huge herd. Often the herds will come together in the dry season when they meet up of a hot afternoon and enjoy the water together. And these youngsters I think what's so funny about them is that they are so like human children, playing in the water or playing in the mud, same age, probably about 7 or 8, somewhere between there. And they're just enjoying a good fun time in the mud.
Okay, so lions here eating backside of a buffalo, it looks like. Sounds rather delicious, all the noises going on there. It always amazes me how they have to go in at one end. The hide of the buffalo is really quite tough. They've really been here for some time. Looking at the colour of their bodies, their armpits. Right in there for the juicy bits. Not sure if that's the face. They tend to enjoy eating the cheeks. And there's an entire animal still to be eaten. Yeah, one at the back there, fast asleep. They've been at this kill for a couple of days, it seems. Full-bellied lions. A sighting that can last a couple of days, and a sighting that often gets incredibly smelly.
Well, it's always nice to look at the smaller things, and as you can see what we have here, we've got some termites, and you can see all the eyelids coming out, of course, and all the little workers just building around that termite mound and making sure that those little eyelids are nice and safe. But wow, look at all those little busy bodies, unbelievable. And of course you've got your little soldiers as well that's protecting those little workers, that's trying to build as much as possible around those termite holes. And looks like they are getting pretty much ready to take off from this beautiful little mound that they've created. And I absolutely love these termites. I think they are so amazing. And look at those little eyelids all taking off. And I know those little eyelids, unfortunately many things will actually feed on them. A lot of swallows, bats, definitely frogs. So there's a lot of different things that'll feed on those flying ants. But look at them, they're all definitely getting busy. And well, those little workers are so active. And it's amazing how many there are, because sometimes you'll find that queen can lay up to about 30,000 eggs per day. But it's amazing to take a look at that. Once again, small things are quite interesting.
Right, we have an elephant eating a stick. A stick-eating elephant. Elephants like sticks. This is no exception. Good. This is the stick of Ziziphus mucronata, or the buffalo thorn. And what the elephant is after here is a bit of bark, or cambium, which is the vascular tissue on a tree, in case you were wondering. You were probably wondering more about the elephant, however. So as the dry season takes hold, this sort of food will be more and more part of the elephant's diet. All that grass underneath this branch, which was green a few months ago, is now, well, just not very nutritious, and so trees are going to be the thing. And obviously this is a particularly delicious piece of tree, because he's making a massive effort to take the cambium layer off. I think what is really quite exceptional here is the way that this elephant is able to use the prehensile tips of its trunk. I mean, they really are just like fingers. And when the fingers don't work, well, then you can just use the brute force of the enormous molars in the mouth to grind away the nutritious bits of tree. They're actually quite delicious, these trees, fruits and leaves for human beings. I've never tried to eat the bark. Indeed, I never tried to put the thorns in my mouth, because I think that would be a very painful exercise. Doesn't seem to bug the elephant at all. He's very happy.
So here we have Shadow, female leopard. I spent a bit of time with her in my early time here at Yuma. Looks like she's got the final end of that Dacre. It's remarkable how much her face resembles her sister Tundi. She's probably going to try and hoist this now. There we go. Oh, looks like it's going to come to pieces on the ground. Up she goes. It always amazes me the power and strength in these cats. Here we go. That's how you position Shadow. Hey, it's actually quite a nice silhouette of her on the branch there. Maybe that's where she got her name. And now she can enjoy her meal in peace. Perched atop. Looks like a marula. Could be a false marula. It's always interesting when they're chewing the face like that, the jawbone. Must be lots of tasty nutrients inside the marrow. You never seem to find the teeth or anything like that, so yummy. Really, really delicious. That Dacre looked a few days old. She definitely looked like she was enjoying it.